Mega week for Indian aviation.
The one is that Airbus is contributing to the outstanding development of India, and the new 250 aircrafts which will be delivered to Air India will be one more step in this direction.
Air India breaks aviation order records. Two events highlighting a rising India.
मुझे ये जानकर भी खुशी है कि फ्रेंच कंपनी साफरान विमानों के इंजन की सर्विस के लिए भारत में सबसे बड़ी एमआरओ फैसिलिटी स्थापित कर रही है.
Superpower flaunts at India's biggest air show. Big jet order, proof of soaring India. Deal with it. India is flying high. It's turning out to be a very interesting blockbuster week for Indian aviation, both military as well as civil aviation, as the world's #1 fighter aircraft is being used to woo India. Air India, meanwhile, has broken all aviation records by placing the largest ever airliner order in history. The US Air Force's F-35s have made a roaring debut at the Aero India show. They're the most advanced, capable and lethal fighters in the world, and the world's biggest superpower is wooing India with them. On the other hand, Air India has signed one part, or at least two parts, of a historic aviation deal with Airbus and Boeing, and will be buying 470 aircraft from both these companies, breaking the existing world record for the largest number of aircraft ever ordered. Are these signs of a soaring, rising and booming India? Well, take a look at this report where we piece together both these stories, both of them exploding this week alone, to give you a sense of how Indian aviation is booming at this time. Take a look.
A lone F-35 fighter aircraft roaring through the skies over the Yelahanka Air Base in Bengaluru. The star attraction at the Aero India show. The stealth fighter jet performing stunts. The 5th generation fighter jet is the most modern machine. Its stealth, advanced sensors, information fusion and network connectivity, all packaged within in a supersonic, long-range, highly maneuverable fighter, makes it a deadly jet. Adding to the combat capabilities, its ability to analyze and share data makes it a force multiplier. It can carry up to 18,000 pounds of ordnance. Its stealth features allows it to go undetected. Advanced sensor fusion adds to the aircraft's awareness, making it more lethal.
These are the F-35 Lightning II. They are 5th generation fighter aircraft and the latest fighters to be developed by the United States. They're in service with the United States, but you're wondering, what the hell are these two aircraft doing here at Aero India? Let me first tell you that the F-35 is making its debut here in India. These aircraft have never been in Indian airspace, certainly never on Indian soil.
Two aircraft flew to India for the air show. One is on static display and the other was party of an enthralling flying demonstration. The timing of its maiden appearance in India is interesting. Does this mean US wants to pitch the F-35 for the Indian Air Force? India is planning its own 5th generation aircraft, the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft or AMCA, but that will take time. F-35's participation has led to murmurs about the possibility of US making a strong pitch to India. This also coincides with Indian Navy finalizing between the French Rafale and the US's FA-18A Super Hornet. With Shivarur, Akshay Dongre and Manjeet Negi. Bureau Report, India Today.
So it really is incredible that F-35 Lightning II jets are here in India for the first time ever. But let's tell you a little bit more about the F-35, just so all our viewers are on board as we expand on this story and then bring in the experts. Now, the F-35 is an American all-weather stealth multi-role fighter manufactured by the world's largest weapons company, Lockheed Martin. It's the world's most expensive weapons program. It cost about $412 billion approximately. These are aircraft where certain variants of it are capable of vertical takeoff as well as landing on a carrier deck. It's been in service since 2015 with the US Air Force, the US Navy as well as the Marine Corps. It's also combat proven, and it can carry a range of weapons, including nuclear weapons, according to some reports. So that's what the F-35-2 is all about. Now, before we even get into why the F-35s are here in India, I want to first put a reality check out, because the F-35 is a highly advanced fighter. But here's why I believe the F-35 doesn't fit India's requirement at this time, for a various number of reasons. The key among them are the following. India already has a fifth-generation fighter program, and many times over the years has actually said it will not look outside for this technology. Now, the reason for that also is reason number two. The US will never share crucial stealth technology with any other country, certainly not with India. Now, the F-35's maker, that's Lockheed Martin, already has an aircraft competing for an Indian Air Force contract. It's called the F-21. It's a modern version, an upgraded version of the F-16. So why would the F-35 also be brought in? The F-35 in India appears to be more of a muscle flex rather than a sales pitch, in my view, because also there is another big reason why the F-35 wouldn't fit. India, remember, is operating the S-400 Triumph surface-to-air weapon system, and that has been a hurdle for F-35 sales in the past with countries like Turkey, and could be a complete deal breaker in the event that the F-35 is actually on the table for India, or if India is actually interested. Nevertheless, you know, all these pieces of information and explanations that I've given you are one thing, but things do change in the world of diplomacy and a security relationship that is intensifying like it is between India and the United States. So forget about what only I think. Let's get what the experts think. Joining me live now, Angad Singh. He's one of India's most sought after and well-known experts on military aviation, military history and aviation history. Also with us is former Vice Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Anil Khosla. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being with me here on the show today. Lots of questions, lots of intrigue over the F-35s. Air Marshal Khosla, with your permission, I'll go to Angad first so that we don't lose that line with him. And Angad's also at the Aero India show. Angad, I know it was a very happy moment to see the F-35s landing there at Yelahanka. You know, lots of fun with your camera, etc. But, you know, getting down to the serious stuff, what do you think, Angad? Is this, you know, messaging? Is this muscle flexing? Is there a sales pitch somewhere here? What do you think?
I'll start from the back, Shiv. I don't think there's a sales pitch. You laid out quite succinctly why a sales pitch for F-35 is just not on the cards at the moment. Beyond that, I think it's a way for the US to signal both to New Delhi and other countries that even if weapons sales aren't the cornerstone of a relationship, there is a cooperation and a collaboration at the military level between our two countries, India and the US. And I don't know if you know, but the US also sent a pair of B-1B
yes.
strategic bombers over Yelahanka today, and they're going to be flying over the air show over the next couple of days as well. So this is more of a signaling exercise from the US to the broader Indo-Pacific.
Yes.
It's a confidence building and public relations exercise more than anything else. But there's also a subtext where India isn't excited by yesterday's technology. India is excited by the future, right? And we're looking at AMCA, we're looking at LCA Mark II and things like that.
Right.
An F-35 pitch could really upend Indian defense procurement planning, should it be made. And I think that reality isn't lost on the people that send the F-35 to Yelahanka. But at the same time, you have this, India and the US on the F-35 especially have played this sort of game of don't ask, don't tell. Both sides know it's not on the table. So the Indians won't ask for it to avoid the embarrassment of a rejection, and the Americans won't offer it because they can't.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting situation right now, and as you say, I think it's mostly a muscle flex with a hint of, you know, here's what you're missing.
Okay, very interesting. So it's more signaling than a sales pitch. Air Marshal Khosla, you know, you've been in the trenches of the Air Force. You've seen procurement, you've seen planning, and like Angad rightly said, there's a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing as far as the F-35 is concerned. You know, as far as Indian procurement is concerned, you've usually seen U.S. officials from the, you know, from the Pentagon or from Lockheed Martin say that that India considering the F-16 means that at the end of that journey, there will be the F-35 waiting for it. That's as far as they've actually gone in pitching the F-35 for India. But what has the Air Force's experience been, sir, as far as the F-35 is concerned? Have there ever been conversations where it has been, you know, more than just placed on the table or, you know, hung in front of the Air Force?
Yeah, okay. Shiv, between you and Angad, I think you covered everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a tricky question you ask because all the air marshals get trolled in the social media that the air marshals only want to play with the foreign toys. Notwithstanding that, you know, you covered most of the aspects. And of course, it's a good aircraft, and I mean, anybody would like to have it in their inventory. But can we afford it? That is one question. Second is, you know, you already brought out that it does not fall in our scheme of things. At the moment, we are trying to get on our feet. We are trying to be Atmanirbhar. We are trying to develop our own program. In that situation, we cannot buy. But having said that, you know, at the moment, our need is, you know, keeping in mind our adversaries, their attitude, their capabilities, to have minimum deterrence capability, and while doing that, support our Atmanirbharta. And minimum deterrence capability needs a balance of numbers and quality of aircraft. But F-35 at the moment, you know, firstly, is not on the offer. Secondly, nobody will share the latest technology. Third is the cost factor. There's another fourth thing, you know, at the moment, their production capability, their domestic needs, as well as their partners and the NATO partners, their needs, their production house at the moment is full. So I don't think they will be able to accommodate even if we want to, and not that we want to. So that is where it stands at the moment, and the way they have come in with their F-35, F-22, B-1 bombers, F-16, F-18, static display, air display. It's a clear political signaling to the world, to the other countries who are watching, that we are with India.
Very, very true. You know, Angad, you've tracked this very, very closely. India's sort of perplexing fighter aircraft contests, the multiplicity of them over the years and decades. But, you know, is there also an element, in the F-35 being brought to India, is there also an element over and above everything that you've said of the US sort of getting a sense that they're missing out, that, you know, these deals have been slipping away from them? India, you know, awarded one deal to the Rafale. You know, there are indications that the Navy is leaning towards the Rafale as well. Who knows what's going to happen in the Air Force contest as well? So are they dangling this aircraft right now saying, look, I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, to an extent, yes. Like I said, it's definitely there's definitely a sort of an element of snide sort of look at what you could have to this. I feel. But at the same time, you know, a superpower like the US, I don't think is going to be insecure about losing defense deals, which is why I see this more as a signal of security, cooperation, and commitment than you know than a sort of an exercise in needling. And you know, again. At the end of the day, and especially in the world of defense and security, where emergent scenarios can force decisions, and we've seen, you know, emergency procurement, and I've written extensively about what they mean and don't mean for Indian defense. But induction of the F-35 is isn't impossible, but what it is not feasible.
Yeah.
It would require a complete overhaul of how we do business. It would require completely delinking from Russia, for one.
Correct.
And you know, that's what makes it impossible to get past. It's not that the US wouldn't be willing to part with certain technology. I mean, there would always be some amount held back.
Yeah,
But we've seen, I mean, the F-35 is a truly multinational program.
Yeah.
And there are prime contractors involved in that program that are not of US origin. So there are entire systems on that aircraft that originate outside the US and then are supplied back to the US and to all international customers. It's a really interesting model for defense cooperation and production. It's just a model that where India is today, we can't plug into that model. It would require far too much near-term pain to be absorbed for a single product.
Absolutely. Air Marshal Khosla, final question to you, sir. Like Angad mentioned earlier as well, we have our own, the AMCA program, which seeks to build a futuristic stealth fighter of its own. Many of the proposed features would be comparable to what the F-35 already apparently has. How would you assess India's own effort and India's own program? Because at the end of the day, this is stuff that no country will share with us. We have to perforce develop them ourselves. How far along are we? How good is our program, sir?
Yeah, so, that's a very question which is asked very frequently. And, the LCA project had itches and it took time to mature. But having matured now, I think we can, and the way we have last 5 to 7 years, under various headings, we have under various verticals, we have made effort by the government to enhance our defense production, as well as in technology, as well as ease out the business rules, then encourage the MSMEs, make techno parks. A whole lot of effort under 16, 17 verticals. They're showing result. We have, the speed has picked up. So the deadlines have been announced for LCA Mark II as well as AMCA, and I hope we meet them. But there is one thing which I want to tag here. If you see the 5th generation aircraft, which 3 or 4 countries have at the moment got, Su-30, Su-57 of Russia and US, these 2 aircraft, and China claiming J-20 to be this thing. But 6th generation work has already started, but there is a trend there. What I'm bringing out is that no country is going alone into, designing and producing these 5th or 6th generation aircraft. They are going into, 2 or 3 together to fund this thing. So I think there maybe we will need some hand holding and some sort of technology infusion from various countries who have already developed this, like you brought out this 5th generation aircraft. So the engine is another problem. China's industry is doing well, but they're still struggling with the engine. They are still using Russian engines. So, and we are also in a similar situation. Kaveri engine, we are having problems. And we have said that AMCA Mark II will come out with the indigenous engine, this thing. And various companies are making forays, and they are some sort of technology.
So basically, there is a long way to go. In many ways, India doesn't have a choice, but like you said, many of these projects are multinational projects, as indeed, as Angad said, the F-35 was. It had the United Kingdom also involved in the development process, part of the group that funded the entire F-35 program. So could India's path ahead also be a partnership with another country? Very, very interesting. As always, I learn a lot from the both of you, Angad and Air Marshal Khosla. Pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. Angad, enjoy the rest of Aero India as well there in Yelahanka. We'll keep a lookout for that. Listen in now to the sound that the F-35 makes. I was there yesterday when the aircraft were in the air. This is what they sound like. And while the F-35 has been ripping up the air over Yelahanka in Bengaluru, Air India has just inked the world's largest airline deal in history. After signing a deal with Airbus for 250 aircraft, a White House official has just confirmed to India today that Air India has also ordered 220 aircraft from Boeing. That's a total of 470 passenger jets in one single day. Courtesy Air India, making it the largest aircraft deal in history. This is India booming, this is India rising, this is India soaring.
There is a deep commitment in France to provide the state-of-the-art, the most efficient technologies available to India.
एयर इंडिया और एयरबस का समझौता भारत फ्रांस स्ट्रैटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के लिए भी एक महत्वपूर्ण उपलब्धि है.
It's one of the biggest aviation deals in history. The Tata Group has announced a massive order for 250 aircraft from Airbus. It includes 140 A320, 70 A321neo, 40 AN350. The mega deal was announced in a video conference with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, French President Emmanuel Macron and Ratan Tata.
2.5 बिलियन यूरो के निवेश से बन रहे इस प्रोजेक्ट में भी टाटा और एयरबस की साझेदारी है. मुझे ये जानकर भी खुशी है कि फ्रेंच कंपनी साफरान विमानों के इंजन की सर्विस के लिए भारत में सबसे बड़ी एमआरओ फैसिलिटी स्थापित कर रही है.
One is that Airbus is contributing to the outstanding development of India. And the new 250 aircrafts, which will be delivered to Air India, will be one more step in this direction. There is a deep commitment in France to provide the state-of-the-art, the most efficient technologies available to India, and to be part of the Made in India strategy.
Airbus says A350s fly efficiently on any sector. From short-haul to ultra-long-haul routes up to 17,000 kilometers, carrying 300 to 410 passengers in typical 3-class configurations, and up to 480 passengers in a single-class layout.
And the C295 program demonstrates Airbus' commitment to supporting, dear Prime Minister, your vision of an Atma-Nirbhar Bharat. With the Tata Group,
250 aircrafts, 40 of them on the wide body A350, which we will use to fly all ultra long distance across the globe.
The deal with Airbus, expected to be over $100 billion, is part of a huge order by Air India for 470 planes, which is also likely to include an order for 220 planes from Boeing. This could be the single largest order by any airline as Air India prepares to revamp itself under the Tata Group with a fuel-efficient fleet. Tata Group's takeover of Air India last year is one of the most high-profile privatization deals of the centre under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Tata Group tabled a winning bid of rupees 18,000 crore as the enterprise value of the airline against a reserve price of rupees 12,906 crore. Bureau Report, India Today Television.
And we can confirm to you that that big Boeing deal is 190 737 MAXs, 20 787 Dreamliners and 10 777X, the latest generation of those Boeing jets. Well, that's a wrap on the show. We're going to leave you with these stunning images captured from 15,000 feet over the Aero India show by India's latest drone, the Tapas. It's a medium altitude, long endurance drone, and using its cameras, it has flexed muscle by capturing these amazing images of the flypast and the ceremonials. Enjoy these images. Thanks for watching.